Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Another wacky time. Good to see you guys. Come on in. I'm Mary Grace, and we are live. This is Real Talk with Mary Grace, and it's Monday, the 27th of September, 2021. Can you believe it? October, November, December. It's almost 2022. So, as you're coming in, please share this and make sure that you hit the thumbs up. Let me see. How is everybody doing today? I'm going to share this into Telegram. If you are in, well, how can I do this? If you are in groups on Facebook, please share it into groups. That helps us get this out. I'm very heavily censored, and if you can tag your friends on Facebook, that helps. Okay, let's see. I think we're in a good spot here. Okay, so Pastor Hank. All right. Just taking some notes. Good to see everybody. Glad you're here. Let's just get a few more people in. And one thing I wanted to ask is, oh, Heather was in Colorado Springs. Great. Okay. Now, as you're coming in, please if you're on Facebook, please like the channel, Mary Grace Media, follow the channel, and then also like the show. So those are two different actions. And then on YouTube, it's the same thing. So you hit the thumbs up. That means that you like what you're watching. And then if you subscribe, you're following the channel. And I appreciate all of that because the more we do that, the more activity we have, the more it gets us moving in the algorithm. And then if you come back later to view, especially on YouTube, please leave a comment because that also helps it show up in the feed. Same thing on Facebook, I think. We're also on Clout Hub, channel 111, and I'm Mary Grace Media there. And then I believe that I'm still on Twitter. They transitioned away from Periscope finally, and my Twitter is Real Mary Grace 1. And so, as long as I have access to these platforms, I'm going to use them. They're not ideal. It is what it is. And so we'll just keep moving and hopefully we don't get censored. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you too is I have a Telegram channel. It's Mary Grace Media Official. And there is a chat. Some of you are in that group. I wanted to give you a little bit of housekeeping about my Telegram and pretty much any Telegram room that you belong to that you are in a chat. The way that Telegram works is that people set up these pages. So my Mary Grace Media Official is my channel. That's what it's called. And when people are joining the chat, they're joining a chat that is supposed to be interactive to what is posted in the channel. A lot of times, people who are in chats just feel that they can post unlimited numbers of links to stuff that they find interesting. And I wanted to talk about a little bit of Telegram etiquette. Now, some Telegram channels don't even allow you to post links. My chat does allow that. I think Ann Vandersteel's chat allows that. Dave Hayes, Praying Medic, completely disabled his chat because so many people were abusing it. But here's the way it works. Ideally, what the intention is that when the owner of the channel posts content, they're looking for people to interact. So give a comment, tell your opinion, what you think about what's being posted, that kind of thing. Now, people do have the ability in my Telegram to post links. Here's a rule of thumb, though. If you find yourself constantly posting links and you're doing link after link after link after link, that is a sign that you need to set up your own Telegram channel. And you can do a chat, you can do a channel, it's up to you. But if you have that much content that you find interesting and you want to share, then then I'm asking you to set up a channel. That's free to do. It's just like if you set up a Facebook page, same thing. So, and you can control who posts what on that channel, just like on Facebook. Sometimes people are allowed to post links on your Facebook, sometimes they're not. So that's just an example. I'm not holding them up as the example of all that is good. I'm just giving you an example of how things work. And so just be aware of that, because basically what you're doing, if you're coming on my channel or anybody else's channel that allows links, if you're just posting link after link after link, you're pretty much spamming. And it's sort of like if you walk into somebody's house and you dominate the conversation and it's not even your house. That's the etiquette of what's happening there. The other thing is, if you post a link, especially a video, and there's no context, it's going to get deleted. You need to say something like, this is a video that was posted by such and such. Here's the gist of what's happening. Just like if you send me something in my email, I ask you not to send me a link with no explanation. Same thing in Telegram, okay? Because we're trying to protect people from viruses and things like that. So please just work with me on that. And when it comes to determining what channels are legitimate, I can guarantee you that about 99% of the channels of so-called famous people are fake. Especially when you're in somebody's chat and you see a post that says, "Good news, so and so is finally on Telegram." That's fake. Those are bots. So be aware of that. The way that you can determine if a channel is real is it's almost always going to be posted and shared by somebody that you trust. So if Anne shares a channel and says, "This is my friend so and so, follow him," then very like 99.9% likely that's a real channel. Same thing with like Stu Peters. It means that he's talked to the person and he knows that's them. So other than that, I would just shy away from that. Just be very careful. Now, I'm not going to spend all day talking about Telegram, but I wanted to give you that request, and then also just some etiquette so that you know what's going on. Okay. So let me just send a message. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Now, are we good? How's everybody doing today? Very small audience. I think we'll get replay views. Now, let me touch base about the audit. Delia wrote to me and gave me some information about the audit. And she said that this is what she said. She said, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, he has been sharing a lot of information on his Locals account. Now, the way that Locals works is that you subscribe and it's a paid monthly membership to watch certain channels. So you decide if you want to do that. She did send a link to a podcast where he talks about the audit results and what is kind of what you can read between the lines. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to try. I think we'll post it on the show notes on the link. We'll post a link in the show notes on the YouTube channel. And so it looks like he has an account on Spreaker, which is a podcast platform. And the title of it is Learn to Read Between the Lines. So if you want to go over there and look for it, you can. I wanted to say, though, that she said one thing that Jovan is saying, and Praying Medic is saying this too. I think Praying Medic is following Jovan. So Jovan is saying that people all over the country, not just in Arizona, need to be emailing and calling the Arizona legislature to decertify and the Attorney General to prosecute. And she's saying that the Attorney General, Brnovich, is motivated to do that because he's trying to get Trump's endorsement for U.S. Senate. And she posted a link here. It's somebody, I'm going to post this. at the risk of having it censor my channel, I'm going to post this link on the show in the notes, and please follow the link. Okay. Yeah, I believe Praying Medic did a show this morning on DLive to update about the audit too. So what I'm telling you is that I'm not doing a deep dive into this because there are people who are more qualified to do it, such as Jovan Hutton Pulitzer. Okay, and so I'm posting a link right now in the chat for you to go and get the information of the people in the Arizona government that you need to be contacting. And that's important. One of the things that we're learning is that they need to that they need to call a special session. Doug Ducey, the spineless CCP controlled rhino Democrat, is saying that everything's fine, nothing to see here. See, it's all fine. And he is the one who needs to call a special session. So I know that Wendy Rogers is demanding that. And so I think that, again, if you're following Jovan Hutton Pulitzer, if you're following Praying Medic, you're going to get the most up to date and accurate updates on that and what is happening. And I urge you to do that. Let me just check this email again and see what she said. She said, this is one thing that people need to understand, that she said, Jovan Hutton Pulitzer has multiple reports about the paper and kinematic artifacts to complete. So this is the part where people were saying, oh, they didn't give us everything we need, et cetera, et cetera. The fake news is saying, well, the count is exactly the same. Well, duh, that's not the point of the audit. The point of the audit is to examine the actual ballots and examine the voting behavior, not whether the count was the same, because the count, they weren't recounting. So anybody that listens to the fake news and says, see, everything's fine, the count is the same, that's like saying that if somebody puts counterfeit money in your drawer and you know it's initially $1,000, they take out three real hundreds and put three fake ones in there, you recount it, it's still going to say 1,000. You have to examine the bills to see what's fake. That is what the audit is all about. So just remember that. But Delia is saying that evidently some of the info that that Jovan Hutton Pulitzer has, and I think the Cyber Ninjas, could not be made public and was sent directly to the AG. So keep that in mind when the fake news, because fake news is going to fake. They're going to try to tell you that it's a big nothing burger and that everything is fine. Everything is not fine. The election was stolen. So just keep that in mind. And please continue to be in prayer about what is going on. Okay. Now I have an update. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let me come back to that in just a minute. So Vicky has a question. Was there other documentation not given at the public hearing? Okay, so I just answered that question. Let's see. Everybody share this. Let's get this news out, get the word out of what's going on in our country. Let me go back to the virus for a minute. A lot of people have been asking questions about the protocol. They're asking, what do I take? How do I take it? That kind of thing. I'm going to refer you to flccc.net. flccc.net. They have a list of providers who are doing telemedicine in different states. Some of the providers are doing telemedicine in many states. I found one who's based in Arizona that is working in a number of states. and they actually, I believe they take Medicare, because one of the things that I had forgotten that I was reminded of is that under the CARES Act, President Trump made money available for telemedicine. And so insurance companies and Medicare, I believe, are still covering that. So keep that in mind. And if anybody's interested, I will give you the name of one doctor that I have talked to. I'm not going to post it in the chat because I don't want them to get overwhelmed. But if you send me an email, info@marygracemedia.com, I'll send you their information. I think I put it in our chat, but I can send you that information. So just keep one of the things this doctor said was one of the things this doctor said was that he actually calls the pharmacies that are listed by flccc.net just to make sure that they still fill these prescriptions. He said that he's not even trying to work with Walgreens and CVS or any of the big box pharmacies anymore, because they've been co-opted, and they're not even willing to dispense this medication if they think for 1 minute that it's for COVID. So when you work with this doctor, he is he double checks with the pharmacy, tries to find something in your area that will dispense. And then as far as the dispensing goes, with insurance, that's just kind of between you and the pharmacy. If you do have insurance, I think they should cover it. And just a reminder, if any pharmacist ever asks you what a medication is for, they're actually overstepping their bounds, and they're practicing medicine without a license. They're interfering in the doctor-patient relationship. They should never ask you that. Uh, just FYI. If they do, you can just tell them, that's between me and my doctor. With all respect, that's none of your business. The doctor prescribed this, and your job is to fill it. You can say it in a nice way, but just keep that in mind if you get prescribed something. Because when I was prescribed hydroxychloroquine and I went to pick it up, they asked me if it was for I think they said lupus, and I didn't answer directly. I just said I have an autoimmune condition, which is true, but they should not interfere at all with the process. Somebody just mentioned that GoodRx is helpful. Yeah, so if you don't have insurance, I know that people have used GoodRx coupons to cut the cost of the medication significantly. Joy on YouTube is saying, I was asked when I picked up steroids for my daughter if it was for the virus. Yeah, you shouldn't have to answer that question. That is between you and the doctor. And the pharmacist knows that. So many rules, so much protocol, which was universally accepted a year and a half ago, has completely been co-opted and thrown out the window. It's ridiculous. The patient protocols, the doctor-patient relationship, the things that doctors do, it's insane. So stand your ground. Do not give in to this this kind of interference. And for example, I've told you guys, when it comes to even disability rights, I've had to really fight. When my mom was still alive, and now with my dad, I've had to really, really put my foot down in a number of situations and say, you are bound to accommodate us, my loved one that I am taking care of, under ADA federal law. That's your job. That's your obligation. Now, I had a doctor's office that would not see us. They would not see my dad without a mask. They would not accommodate him and wear face shields. Thankfully, the VA did, but I had to educate them. So don't be afraid, politely, to educate people, to stand up and say, this person or myself or whatever is unable to do this. and you are obligated to accommodate them under ADA law. That has not changed. The pandemic did not cancel the Americans with Disabilities Act. That trumps your policy and your pandemic. Okay. And if they say things like, oh, you can just wait outside, you're like, okay, so you're telling me that somebody with a seeing eye dog, you would tell them just to leave their cane out in the car, or somebody who's blind, leave their cane and their dog in the car. That's what you're telling me. You're applying that standard. I have to have the same standard that you would apply to them. Okay, so I'm not going to get on that soapbox, but just wanted to let you guys know that. Now, flccc.net is your go-to. Somebody said that they listened to X22 report last week with Dr. Zelenko, and that was very helpful. So X22 report, he's on Rumble, and that's Dave at X22 report. Hi, this is Dave. And you can listen to that. I haven't listened to it yet, but I recommend that you try to do that. Somebody said they use GoodRx to get ivermectin costs from $281 to $78. Okay, that's great. Perfect. Now, so like I said, if I have a practitioner in Arizona that is doing telemedicine, I believe in a number of states, and they don't seem to be as backed up as like America's Frontline Doctors and some others. So if you need it, send me a message, okay? info@marygracemedia.com. Now, I want to give you guys an update of what's going on with our friends in Arizona, Matt and Shannon. If you have been following this story, Matt has been in the hospital, I believe, for 25 days now, and he's been on a ventilator all that time. He went in with complications from diabetes. He was in ketoacidosis. He went on a ventilator. And after 24 hours, when they tried to, when they took him off of sedation and they tried to remove the ventilator, he was getting very agitated. And so instead of calling his wife and saying, hey, maybe you should be with him, he's confused, he's disoriented, whatever, they upped the sedation, kept him on the ventilator. And that's been the course of action pretty much from now until then. And so basically they are, holding him hostage. He's being held. It's medical kidnapping because they won't let her see him because COVID. They are denying treatments that they are asking for. They're denying treatments they're asking for. They're violating his patient bill of rights. They're violating everything. They're committing human rights abuses at this point. This is Honor Health, John C. Lincoln Hospital in Phoenix. And this is just crazy. So Shannon is on YouTube right now. There's a Twitter account set up for Matt. It's at Save Matt Sevo. It's all one word. She put it in the YouTube. So we're really speaking life over him. They have 3 children. It's not his time to go. I really need all of my intercessors, prayer warriors, to speak life over him. And these doctors are just parroting the same thing over and over again. It's not our protocol. It's not our protocol. It's not our protocol. Meanwhile, you have the nursing staff who are FaceTiming with Shannon from the hospital, and they're in PPE, which isn't even properly fitted, but they're telling her that it's too dangerous for her to go in there because COVID. Yeah. Okay. So let me just tell you what the family needs right now. If anybody knows of an attorney in Arizona who's licensed in Arizona, who is a human rights attorney who can help us get through to this hospital. We're at the point where the attorney needs to get a hearing with a judge to get her access to her husband, because the patient bill of rights says that the patient has the right to have visitors present. It doesn't say that that is suspended in a pandemic. And that is something that Shannon has pointed out to the doctor. The other thing is that the patient has a right to ask for treatment that isn't necessarily in the protocol. Everything that they're doing at this hospital at this point is everything they're doing at the hospital is it's human. It's just a violation of his human rights. It is. Let me just put it this way: the doctor and every person involved in his care will be charged with murder if Matt doesn't survive this. Now we are believing and praying that Matt is surviving this, but I just want you guys to know that that's the situation, and the person that has been over his care is the hospitalist. And, this doctor he's just parroting the hospital policy over and over and over again. And, it's one thing to go into a store and have a clerk that's paid, $11 an hour tell you, this is our policy, ma'am, you have to put on a mask. It's one thing to have them tell you that, but it's a whole different story when you have a doctor who is supposed to be keeping people alive tell you, oh, that's just our protocol, that's our policy. You don't get to do that. You don't get a pass for saying, I was just doing my job. I was just doing my job. I was just following protocol. I was just doing the policy. The protocol is not working. The protocol is causing the patient damage. So not only are you violating his human rights, you've completely abandoned the Hippocratic Oath. First, do no harm. What they are doing to him is harming him. And so we really need prayer. Anybody that is in the Phoenix area who can go and pray outside of this hospital, we would really appreciate that. If there's anybody who can coordinate a prayer vigil for him, please let me know. We would like to have people praying for him around the clock. This has been on my mind a lot. I was up at the lake yesterday. I unplugged for the day to go and be and just be in nature. And I was just thinking about it constantly the whole day. And I feel like this is going to be a testament to God's goodness and to his miracle working power. Part of that miracle is that we need to get through to these doctors. There has to be a break. There has to be a change in this person's mindset. It has to be a supernatural intervention because they're stuck. I mean, they're stuck on stupid and they're stuck on murderous behavior. And so right now we just bind the spirit of murder over any patient who's in the hospital, particularly Matt right now, that that spirit would not have its way over this patient and that he would live and not die. So this is it's crazy. So one thing that Shannon is doing is that she's demanding she's demanding that they titrate him off of this ventilator and that they aggressively step him down. And I believe that in the past 3 days since I got involved, since you guys have gotten involved and given your suggestions, that the hospital is getting a little bit more focused on his care. It's my belief that they were just keeping him sedated and keeping his ventilator at 100% because they had other things to do. And if you're in the nursing profession or the medical profession and that's you need to retire right away because this patient should not be left like that. They should have titrated him off of that ventilator the first 24 hours he was in the hospital. He didn't even go in for COVID. He went in because of his lungs from diabetes. And this is the most egregious part of this situation, is that he didn't even go in for that. And now they're holding him hostage. It's a medical kidnapping. So pray that we can get in touch with the law group. If anybody has um, any attorneys that are licensed in Arizona, please message me right away, info@marygracemedia.com, and let us know. We need an attorney that is willing to go before a judge and get an ex parte hearing to grant Shannon access to her husband. They are also looking at possibly moving him. Right now, they're being told that the insurance probably won't pay for a transfer. Seriously, the insurance is willing to pay $30,000 to $50,000 a day to keep him on this ventilator in the ICU, but not to move him somewhere else that he can step down. Now, I have a theory about that too. I have a theory that that the insurance company is not actually being billed for what's happening right now, because I think that the hospital is getting government money for keeping a COVID patient on a ventilator in the ICU. I think that they're getting COVID money, and I think it'd be interesting to audit their books. Okay, so now I did want to, now that I have Shannon on the line here, I woke up this morning thinking about this. So I want to do this. We're going to interrupt this broadcast for a song. I'm going to sing a song because this is the song that I've been thinking about this morning. Can Thomas Rentz or Pacific Justice Institute give a local referral? We've been working a lot of different angles, Diane. If there's anybody that can help us on this, I mean, we're only so many people. So if someone is willing to reach out to them to try to get us in contact with a local lawyer, that would be very helpful. I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. So let me see if I can do this. Hold on. I still don't have an ideal setup here with the mic and the guitar. Okay. I figured out why YouTube puts a flag on the show when I do a song. It's because it's copyrighted material, and so they're saying that I can't monetize the show if it has this tune or whatever. So it's not a strike, thank goodness. Okay. All right. Can you hear the guitar okay? I know it's all you've got to just be strong. And it's a fight just to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far gone, but hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. Hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Just take one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. You're gonna be okay. I'm gonna do that again. Let's see. Here we go. I know it's all you've got to just be strong. And it's a fight just to keep it together. I know you think that you are too far gone, but hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. Hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Just take one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. You're gonna be okay. I know your heart is heavy from those nights, but just remember that you are a fighter, a fighter. You never know just what tomorrow holds. You're stronger than you know, stronger than you know. Hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Just take one step closer. Put one foot in front of the other. You'll get through this. Just follow the light in the darkness. You're gonna be okay. And when the night's closing in, just wake up and don't give in. This won't last, it's not the end, it's not the end, you're gonna be okay. And when the night's closing in, don't give up and don't give in. This won't last, it's not the end, it's not the end, you're gonna be okay. Hold on, don't let go. Hold on, don't let go. Okay, amen. So just believe that and pray that with us. Don't let go. All right. Now, bless you, Shannon. The Lord give you strength. And I will try to keep everybody updated. If I don't come back online this week, it's because I'm out of town. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I was going to be out of town this week. I was supposed to be gone all week, and some things got changed around. So I'm doing a show today, and I'll be traveling Wednesday morning early through the rest of the week. So that is the situation. So I don't know that I'm going to do another show this week. If I do, it will be from the road and it will be only on YouTube. So if you're not following my YouTube channel, this is the time to do that, because I don't go live on all of the platforms when I am away from the studio. All right. And so those of you who are on Facebook, if you miss me, sometimes you write to me and you say, I haven't seen you. Where are you? It's because if I go live away from the studio, it's just on YouTube. It used to be Periscope before they took it away. All right. So let's see. Okay. So keep Shannon and Matt in your prayers. Anybody that can organize a prayer vigil for us, please contact me. And then also, please, if anybody knows of a human rights attorney, a right to life attorney that is in Arizona, um, please let me know. Somebody just asked why I wasn't on Twitter. I'll come back to that later. There must be a glitch. I'm supposed to be on Twitter. All right. Let's see. Now, there's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about because when I was in when I was in Cape Cod a couple weeks ago, I was on vacation, and I went up there, and it was my first time up there. It's my first time up there, and I was at this house. It's a beautiful home, almost all the way out on the Cape, and Cape Cod, any coastal town, anytime you have a house on the water, especially on the coast, the elements are not kind. It's very hard to maintain a property, and I thought about something during my trip, and I wanted to share this with you guys because it really I'm going to give you a very good analogy of what's going on in America right now and around the world, but especially in America. And uh, and that is that we have not kept our house. We have not maintained our house. And because of that, it's actually in grave danger. And the situation that I encountered on my trip to Cape Cod made me think about that because I wanted to describe to you where we stayed and what is involved in keeping that house and that property um, um, in good shape, keeping it for generation after generation. So, this house that we stayed in is a house that has been on the Cape. It was originally, I think, a post office, and it was at a train depot, at a river, a train depot. And um, it was bought by the family, I think, in the 1930s. And so it was converted to a house, and it's been in the family since that time. Now it's undergone a number of changes during that time. There's three buildings on the property, and and it's gone through a number of changes. Now, if anybody's ever been in Massachusetts, even in the springtime, let alone the winter, you know how harsh the weather can be. Even in the summertime, if when they ha- in this when they have nor'easters, any time of year, the weather can be just brutal. And this house is not right on the ocean, but there's a big tidal shift that happens twice a day, and so there is a lot of potential for erosion, just weathering, regular maintenance, all of this. And then you think about the fact that the property that is just old, and there's things that decay. There are things that fall apart. There are appliances that need to be replaced. They rent the house out to private groups, families, and things like that. They have to maintain it for that. There's just wear and tear. There's all of these things, and in order to do that, in order to maintain this house, the family has set up a legal entity to do that, and they have policies and procedures in place to make sure that decisions are being made on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis that will make sure that the house is maintained, that it's intact and usable for this generation, for generations to come. And I was thinking about this because I was talking to the friend that we were staying with, whose family owns the house, and she was just describing just a little bit of the day to day, the ongoing, the communication. There's just constantly something to do, even when you're there on vacation, right? She was shopping for a refrigerator because the refrigerator they have, they don't think it's going to make it through another season. Um, that's just an example. They had to close off one of the showers of the two bathrooms in the house because it has a really bad leak, things like that. And so even though you're on vacation and you're enjoying this amazing and beautiful place, there's always something that has to be done. And they have, I believe, 9 or 10 people who are in the family who are all co-owners of this property. And so they all have a responsibility not just to enjoy it, but to steward the property. And, obviously, it got me thinking about our country when I was just taking in all that was happening. Because as we're sitting there night after night enjoying this fabulous sunset from the deck, we were also having conversations about things that were just ongoing, um, uh, about things that are ongoing. Um, hold on just a second. Hold on a second. Okay. I just heard of a child that is in the ER. Sorry. Pray for this child. They're thinking he has COVID. Okay. um, all right. Let me go back to the house. So as we're sitting there, um, we are okay. Here's the sunset. So we're sitting here watching these sunsets every night. And so this is the beauty that you get to experience, when you're sitting there. Um, but it comes at a cost. And the cost is that the family has invested in stewarding the property over many, many, many years. And that is the key. The cost is um, that that the family has made decisions, that they have been in cooperation together in stewarding the property. And it makes me think so much about our country, because over time, as Americans, we've gotten just pretty fat and lazy, and we've left our country to people who would destroy it. And the analogy here is, if this property were put into the hands of a caretaker, or an agency that was supposed to manage it, and instead they just took money from the property owners year after year after year, and then just did whatever they want with the property and just let it go to hell. That's pretty much the situation we're in right now in America. That we as Americans have abdicated responsibility for our republic to tyrannical traitors that we have sent to Washington year after year, trusting that they were going to take care of our house, and they haven't done it. And what we are seeing right now is the result. We are seeing the ugly, sordid underbelly of decay that has resulted not only from neglect but from outright abuse of our country. And the house is salvageable, but it is a dire situation. And that is the thing that I want people to understand, because if we don't take it back right now, then we're going to lose it. Now, I'm not showing you pictures of the house, because it's private, but you get the point. imagine if we went to the house and we couldn't get in the house because the doors were falling off the hinges and the foundation was riddled with termites and somebody left rotten fish in the kitchen and the house was full of maggots and the deck was falling apart because nobody built a retaining wall over the years to keep the water from eating away at the property. Right now, this family is looking at putting in a bulkhead that is going to cost maybe even $250,000, and that is the price of maintaining that property and keeping it from washing away into the ocean, into the river, out to the bay, in the next 10 years. And so if they're investing that, I mean, that's money, but it's also the time. I mean, they go themselves and maintain the house and do projects there. Even people who go and stay at the house invest their time and do projects. Even the guests come and do work at the house. Think about that. The people that come to our country as so-called guests, we just hand them free stuff and let them take over our country and change our laws and thwart our laws. I mean, there's so much that could be said based on this situation, but I have to tell you, it's such a powerful and profound parallel to what is going on in our country right now, and I really want people to think about that. Um, I really want people to think about that. That that it is such there's so much at stake. There's so much more than a house on a hill on a bay in Massachusetts. Ironically, from where we were sitting, we could see Plymouth from across the bay, which is kind of interesting, right? Where it all started, where the Pilgrims landed. Um, our republic has survived for a very long time. It doesn't survive on neglect and abuse. And it is past time for Americans, for we the people, to take charge and to put in the blood, sweat, and tears and the elbow work and to take back the reins from the people that have been hell bent on destroying this country. They don't care about you. They are hirelings. They are hired hands who have abused the power, and none of them should be in position right now. None of them should be in possession of the keys, much less your money. Let's just put it that way. They have taken advantage, and if you've noticed, it doesn't change every single year. Every single um, decision that they make is taking more money from you. Don't be fooled by the stimulus checks. That's your money that they're giving back to you. In the meantime, they're handing out money hand over fist to NGOs and overseas causes, and they're handing out welfare to so-called refugees who are coming from a country that we've spent trillions of dollars in over the past 20 years propping up. People need to understand this. This is life or death. And those people who sit there and say, "Oh, nothing's going to happen. Why doesn't somebody do something? I'm so tired of waiting." Hey, newsflash, it's your house. That's like going to your house after the overseer has destroyed it and expecting the overseer to fix it. Stop that. That's dumb. They're not going to fix it. It's your job. It's we the people. Okay? So there's more that I could say about that, but um just think about it. Just think about it because, you know, we're at we're at the beginning. This is the second American Revolution. We have so much at stake here. There is so much that we could lose if we don't take it back. And I was reminded of a scripture. The scripture came to mind from Galatians. This is Galatians 6:9. Um, It says, let us not become discouraged in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not become weary. Galatians 6:9. That's so important to understand. Um, we've been so conditioned to live the American dream and to do it at any cost and any and all cost, and we've been so dumbed down and really just fattened up like lambs to the slaughter that many people aren't even aware that this is happening. People just don't even know that our country is on the brink of being lost forever. Um, and that's one of the saddest things because what did they do at the beginning of COVID? Stay home, eat takeout, binge watch Netflix. Don't pay attention to the fact that we are stealing, that we're completing the grand theft of your nation, of your freedom. Good comment on YouTube. We used to think voting would change situations that got shot down in 2020. Yeah. So that being said, don't stop voting. I know that it's demoralizing to think, okay, vote. But if we stop voting, then we have 100% abdicated. And so as painful as it is, you need to keep voting. All right. And you need to get into your local elections offices and get eyes on what's going on and be the change. Okay, so I don't want to do a whole show on that because because I've got to sign off here. But I wanted to just give you guys, an update on everything that's going on right now. Please make sure that you go and check out Praying Medic's Telegram channel so that you can get the most up to date information about the audit in Arizona. Pray for President Trump. Um, Pray for President Trump, just for him to have continued wisdom, for him to surround himself with people who love our country and not their own selfish gain. There are people who are actually selling Trump endorsements, believe it or not, because they know that it will get them in office. Think about that. And he's called them out on that, but it's just crazy that they're doing that. Lastly, take care of yourself. Make sure that you're taking care of your own health. Get exercise, get fresh air, get away from TV and social media and screens and all those things. I'm telling this for myself as well. Um, and and make sure you keep your body healthy. If you want superfoods, get a promo code from me so that you can save over $100 off of a 30-day supply. That's info@marygracemedia.com. That is one way that we support the show that keeps me on air. Another way you can do that is go to my website, marygracemedia.com, and click on support. There is a subscription button that you can do. And thank you to those of you who do that. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, good question. Pray, praying for all the medical hostages for their release. Absolutely. Okay. So everybody have a great day. Like I said, if I don't come back on air, um, if I don't come back on air this week, I am traveling. I'm going to be out of town, and I have a business trip that I'm doing, and so I more than likely will be back a week from today. That's going to be in October, October 4th. So please, if you haven't done it already, please like the show, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. If you're on Facebook, share this in groups, and also tag your friends. Tag your friends on YouTube as well. It's a little complicated, but maybe you can figure it out. Share the link, put it into groups that you belong to, and send it to people in emails. And thank you to those of you who share out this information. We've had some interesting shows. I think it was last Monday that I did the show on all of the protocols. So check that out. Okay. And thanks again to Delia for doing the show notes. It's very nice. You can see the show notes on YouTube. That is where she just sort of does bullet points based on that what I talked about that day. So if you're trying to find something, for example, there was a show where people were giving a lot of information about what they take for the Rona, and that was in the live chat. I can't remember which day that was. If somebody can remind us. So go back and look through the live chat to see all of those suggestions. People were talking about hydrogen peroxide and things like that. What day was that? I have to remember. In any case, so don't forget to go back and look through live chat when you watch a show replay. Everybody have a great day, and thank you for your continued prayers for Matt and Shannon and their family. Pray for their children, that they would have strength and courage, that they would not be afraid for their father, but that they would learn to develop and strengthen their faith and to believe for good things to come. Thanks again, everybody, for all of your help. And email me info@marygracemedia if you have any resources that can help us with this case. Take care, everybody.